Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the today's workshop. Today is the first day of the workshop. So I kindly request all the participants to switch on your camera and keep your microphone muted. I request all the participants to keep your camera on and keep your microphone muted. All the participants who are joining now also, please keep your camera on. Else we have to keep you in a waiting room. All the participants, please keep your camera on. We'll start this session in a couple of minutes, just few more minutes. Okay. So there are a few rules which we have to follow. I welcome on behalf of Cypher Analytica all of you, people who join around the world. So welcome to the program. But there's a few rules we need to follow. Right. The rules are like, first rule is that whenever you log in, you have to keep your camera on and you have to keep your microphone muted. We have given an option to keep your self, you can unmute, mute. When there is a need, you can mute or unmute yourself because you might have some queries, questions during the sessions. That's why we have given this permission to you. You can ask when there is a need. Rest of the time, please keep this microphone muted so that there won't be any disturbance during the session, because many times it happens that there's a noise at your end and suddenly you kept it, forget it unmuted, or maybe you get a call and it's unmuted. So it disturbs the program. Okay, by mistake, sometimes it can happen. No worries about it. We'll remind you, but don't do it purposefully, or maybe that after so many times. Otherwise, it gets disturbed. No, whole program gets disturbed. So I can kindly request all the participants to follow this. I still see that there are lots of participants had not started the camera. So I kindly request all the participants to start the camera. This is for our own security purpose, that we have a right participants in the meeting. We don't want anybody who is not interested or not a real participants come into the program. So make sure that you keep your camera on when during the session. Once the Dr. Parmar session will start, you can keep your video off during that time, because it might be you will be you have a bandwidth issue, but we prefer that you keep your video on so that we can see each other clearly. So please keep your video on and keep your microphone muted. Am I audible to all? If
Yeah.
I'm audible, just thumbs up. Okay.
Yes, sir,
All
audible.
right. Thank you. Sorry, looks like some internet issue. That's why I got disconnected. I'm back now. All right. So I was saying that if there is some internet issue at your end during the session, you can keep your video off so that you can have a proper bandwidth to utilize, that to hear and to talk. So that time you can keep your video off, but when it is requested, please do the keep the camera on. That is the basic rules which we follow. And the participants who are already paid for the workshop, for the certificate and study material, I kindly request fill the form is there on the Zoom meeting email. You have received the Zoom meeting details. You will see that there is a form link there for respected to this program. So you can just click on that link and fill the form with your screenshot of the payment, whatever payment you have done, whatever medium you have used, just take the screenshot and attach it so that our account can match that it has been received, and we can share the study material with you. So that for that purpose, make sure that you fill the form properly. And second thing is that you kindly mute yourself in there. I request all the participants keep your microphone muted. The participant name called Indel. Please keep your microphone muted. Thank you. So also fill the certificate and properly, because it will be get printed with the same name. If it is there's a mistake there, the certificate will come. That misprint. So that time again we have to. Of course, we will be rectify it on your request, but make sure that to avoid the that double work, fill it properly. All the other participants who are not paid participants, those who are free participants, can make note of your own, because study material and the video recording of the session is only for the paid participants. It is only for the paid participant. So participants who have not paid will not get the study material and the video recording of the session and the certificate. So those who have paid will get this benefit. Otherwise, this program is free. You can enjoy the workshop for whole 6 days without having any paying anything. If you're looking for study material and the certificate and the video recording of the session, you have to pay for that small amount. We have already waived the fees for that, because due to pandemic, that we have waived all our tuition fees or all the fees of the that workshop. Normally this workshop is around in Indian currency it is 18,000 rupees, which is roughly around 250 to $60 in USD for international participants. And that has been waived because of this corona pandemic. So we have waived it off, and we just kept a small amount for the operational cost in name of certificate study material. So that is how we are trying to help our society, and this we are doing from last March. From the March itself, we are doing that. So it's almost 9 months now. We are doing this noble work, and Cypher Analytica will be keep doing till end of this month, and we try to do more. We'll see that how we're gonna do it in November, December, because but let's see. We are planning how we're gonna do it. This whole workshop will be in English, because there are lots of participants from different part of the world. So you will not expect from India or from other country. The whole workshop will be in English because it's a pure international workshop. So English will be the communication here. People from other part of the world most welcome, and make sure that your timing should match. The timing is in Indian time 5 o'clock. So make sure you log in 5-10 minutes before to avoid the delay. That's all from my side, and I request Dr. Pramar to join us. Uh, before we jump into that, I just give a brief for Dr. Parmar. Am I audible to all? If I'm audible, just thumbs up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So all the participants, I just give a brief for Dr. Parmar. Dr. Parmar has last more than 25 years of experience in the industry. He has done lots of work with the government, non-government organization, in also in academics also. So he worked with the private and government agencies also, and he is a very senior data scientist known to the world. And it is really that we are very lucky to have him in this workshop. He is training us, and his training way of training is extremely I will say that best out of best that you will experience in these 6 days. Obviously, first day will be little bit, those who are not that familiar with R or anything, will little bit difficult, but automatically you will soak into that the way he take the things. So your patience will be that for coming 3 days, and then automatically you will be start rolling out. We have a pattern for training, because we have people from different background, some of from the industry, some of from the academics, some of from the PhD background, some still doing scholars, some from the software background. So we have to maintain that, that's why we adopt our own special way of training. So just follow that, and I'm damn sure that last day you will be uh, you will be in something that you can say that yes, I have learned now R, and I can take the next step of the workshop. We have a different workshop. It's a R foundation which we are doing right now. Then we will go for R intermediate, R advanced 1, advanced 2. So almost our basic, our foundation is 6 days workshop. Other workshop is 10 days, 10 days, 10 days. So we keep doing it. That we will be keep posting. That our Facebook page, when there is a new workshop comes, you can follow our Facebook page, facebook.com/cypheranalytica. Also, we'll create a WhatsApp group of this workshop, so you can join that WhatsApp group to exchange the all the queries, questions regarding the workshop during the session if you have any queries, and to help each other. This community will be help each other. All right, over to you, sir.
Okay.
Welcome, Dr. Parmar.
Thanks,
Sir,
Mukesh
can
ji.
you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
over to you, sir.
Okay, sir.
We can
Thanks,
start,
Mukesh ji.
sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Welcome, everyone. Mm, let's continue our session with the statistical and data analytics with R. First, I would like to explain what we would cover here in this session. So, please you mute your mic, do better. Uh, in this 6 days workshop, what would be the content for these 6 days? I will explain you first. Yeah, recording is there, and I will first share my, just a moment. Let me share my screen with you so we could proceed. I think I am audible to you all. Okay, and in this 6 days workshop, what we are going to cover, first I select few my favorite colors here, and my screen is on your window now, and I just select few colors. It will take little bit time to select because I have to select one by one. Okay, let's we move. So in this 6 days workshop, so we are going to cover uh, the day one, which is the 2 day. We are going to cover the introduction, of statistical analysis and the data analytics and data science also. We'll see the difference between all. And then we study about the classifications of data. If time remains, we also try to cover the measure of center tendency. So this is a part of essentials of statistics, which is required to do any sort of analysis. And day 2, we cover the measure of dispersion. This would be the theoretical part. One and next day 1 and day 2. Measure of dispersion and correlation. Okay. And from day 3, we start with basic syntax of R. We see the R data types. Okay. And R basic syntax we start in day 4. And day 5 and 6, we cover the descriptive analysis. With R. So this would be our schedule for next 6 days. So today we are going to start with the introduction. So I think there are some questions, some queries. Okay. Now it is okay. Am I audible now properly?
Yes, sir.
This volume is okay now?
Yes, sir.
I hope so. Okay, thanks. So let's continue the session. And I will show you first my one PPT. So you see here in this slide, on the upper side, there are so many logos of the various languages are there, or the programs like the R, Excel, Advanced Excel, Tableau, SAS, SPSS, MySQL, Hadoop, Spark, Power BI. These are all the tools to perform the data analytics. It doesn't mean that the Python is data analytics. Python is only the tool. Data analytics is a mind process. It is in your brain, in your mind. It is here inside, and we use these tools to perform the activity faster. Okay. In the previous time, we also used some manual technique to find out the analysis of the things. We use some algorithm at that moment. There are some techniques also like the logarithmic, uh, log, anti-log. These all sort of things we apply at that moment for calculating these all things. Later on, the calculator comes in existence, and we started to take the help of the calculator for the analysis purpose. And then the computer came, and we started to use the computer, and we started to use the Excel. Or now it is now the advanced Excel is also there. So we could perform so many analytics with the advanced Excel also. Then some tool came in the existence like the SPSS says. These are the software we use, or this has its own limitations. Okay. So the company has given you whatever the drop down menu, you could follow it. You could do it. You could not change. You could not perform some extra activity. in this sort of software. It is already customized as per their requirement, but it is not customized as per our requirement. But in programming language like R and Python, it is like a sky, and sky has no limit. So we could perform any in-depth analysis in R and Python. There is no limit. Okay, there are so many packages. We could take the help of the packages. We could perform our own function and methods, or we could apply those. So these languages are better than these softwares, and these are open source also. So one of the benefit, it is open source. Okay, and here you see in the lower side, I have written the descriptive analysis, inferential analysis, predictive analysis, and the perspective analysis. The all sort of analysis we could perform here, or we will see what are the difference between this all analysis. Here you see we perform the univariate analysis, data visualization, data manipulation, correlation analysis. In our succeeding workshop, few other topics we will cover over there. The hypothesis testing, a priori, K means neural networking, K nearest neighbor, and the so many things, random forest, decision tree, linear regression, logistic regression. And few analysis we also perform the sentiment analysis like the churning analysis, meta analysis, pandemic analysis, market basket analysis, customer segment analysis. There are many more we could perform with this all algorithm. Okay, so we see what are the algorithm we could use in the different sort of analysis. Okay, now let me tell you the difference between statistics, data analytics, and the data science. So if we see the generic definition of the statistics, it is like that it is a science and art of collecting, classifying, computing, analyzing, interpreting, and presentation of data and its insights. It means that first we collect the data from various sources, whatever the sources you have. It may be from the Google form, it may be from the any website. You could take it through the API, or you could use the questionnaires and you could collect the data. Okay, and then you classify the data, uh, whether which variable is a discrete, which one is continuous, which is categorical, and so many things, which variable is normal, which is skewed, and these all things, we according to that we classify the data, and then we compute the statistics. The statistics is whatever the we compute like the mean, mode, median, standard deviation, correlation, analysis coefficient, everything. These are called the statistics, what we compute with the samples, whatever we have. And after computing it, we get some result, or result mostly we get in the numeric form. And behind those numbers, there are something which is hidden. We have to search it out. And according to that, we have to analyze it. This process is called the analysis, and analyzing the uh, result. And after analyzing, we interpret it in some text, statement format. And finally, we present that result or the data's insight through the statement or through the table or the figure, whatever you require. We use different things to present the data and its insights. And this whole process, these whole things we do in statistics. This is the work of the statistics. Now the question arises, it is a science and art. Why it is science? So first I would like to give you one example why it is in science. So look at here. Here is a small data set I have given 2, 5, 8, 10, 7. And I think you all please try to find out the mean of this. Everybody knows the formula of mean. I know that. All of you know about the formula of mean. And please you try to find out the mean for me for this small data set. Yeah. Please you try to find out the mean of this using your calculator or your mobile, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I am looking that the mean of all of you are same. It is 6.4. All of you have calculated the mean and all of you are getting the same mean. Why we are getting the uniform mean? Because it is a science. We have some formula, we have some particular technique why we use for the calculating the mean. So you always get the same mean if you calculate anywhere. It doesn't mean that I am more experienced than you, my mean would be better than your. It doesn't mean that. If anybody can calculate the mean and don't compute any calculation mistake, the mean would be same. So it is a science. As in chemistry, you see, if we mix the acid and base, we get salt and water only. Nobody could get the alcohol while doing making a mixture of acid and base. Everybody will get the salt and base. Oh, sorry, salt and water. So that's the thing in the science. We always get the same result, the uniform result. So it is a science because we are using various mathematical formulae over there. Second thing, it is an art. It is an art also. So we see one more example for that. So this is a glass of water, and how do you interpret it? What would be the interpretation of this glass of water? Please you try to do the interpretation of this glass of water. How do you? What can you say about this glass of water? Half filled, correct? Okay, so most of you are telling it is half filled and some are telling it is half empty, or some are telling it is 50%. 50% no would not be the interpretation. It is a value. Interpretation always in the text form. One you must keep in your mind that it is in a text form. So if I say that some of you are telling that it is half filled, and some is telling that it is half empty. Statistics, when we compute, it shows us so many things about the data. It describes so many things with result, but it hide the important things behind the values, behind the result. And when you are able to search it out from those results, then you might be a good data analyst. So here also the same thing. It comes with the experience. Okay. Here you see the correct interpretation of this. If I am right, this glass is full half with water and half with air. So there is a air and there is a water. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Some of you have given the same answer. Thanks. So this is the thing. If you are having the experience, you could interpret in a very well manner. The interpretation is very, very important thing. Okay. So it comes with the experience. As the musician, if you want to become a musician, then you have to practice, and then you could be a musician. So same thing is here, similar thing is here in the interpretation part. We require some experience. So wherever the experience exists, it is an art. Art requires the experience. So here the experience is very very important, and experience doesn't mean that this directly not direct. It is not directly proportional to that your age. No, it is not directly proportional. It is, we could say it is proportional to age, because as the age increases, your experience will increase. But if you work more in a shorter time period, so you may be more experienced than me. Okay. So now let's come to our previous slide. And this is all about the statistics. It is a science and art. Now you understand that why it is an art, why it is a science. And we collect the data, classify the data, compute the statistics, analyze it, interpret it, and presentation. It is in a figure, table, the statement, whatever you want. Now we talk about the data analysis. Data analysis is a process. It's not a science and art. It's a process of inspecting whatever the data you have collected. We inspect the data and we search out the gangs in the data, some remedies, some noisiness in the data, and then we clean the data and transform the data as per our requirement in rows and columns, and modeling the data finally with the goal of discovering useful information. Okay. And informing conclusions and supporting in decision making, which supports in decision making. So that is the data analysis. Data analysis is a process. So for this process, we use different tools. So we have a Python, we have a advanced Excel, we have R, we have various tools could apply for the data analysis. Next thing is the data science. What is the difference between data analytics and data science? Data science is an umbrella term that encompasses the data analytics, data mining, machine learning, several other related disciplines. Someone sometimes asks me, what is data mining? Data mining, you have a data, but you don't have an objective. What you could find out through the data. Somebody has given you the data and has not mentioned any objective. And he asks you to please search it out something. And you come with some, you discover something, some useful information out of this data. What information you don't? That process is called the data mining. You will mine the data and you will see what information you could get from this data. Okay, this is the major difference: data mining and data. In data analytics, they are all correlated to each other. The terms, they are interrelated basically. So machine learning, several other related. Data science is an interdisciplinary field. As I told you, the data mining, data analytics, these are that use scientific method, processes, algorithm, and system to extract knowledge and insights from many structural or unstructured data. Not the structural, that is the structured or unstructured data. So what is structured data? What is unstructured data? First we understand that thing. Structured data means we have a data in a like a Excel sheet in a rectangular format, in a data frame way, row and columns, and that is a structured
डॉक्टर
data.
विजय प्रकाश बोल रहे हैं? अपना जयपुर या लखनऊ से।
डॉक्टर राजेश जी, प्लीज यू म्यूट योर माइक।
हाँ हाँ सर, गुड इवनिंग, मैं राजेश शर्मा बोल रहा हूँ।
So structured data is what we are getting in the rectangular format. We are getting the some strings, some characters over there in the few columns, some categorical columns, some numeric, some discrete, whatever. That is the structured data. And unstructured data is what the images, like image, and like text messages we have. And so these are all unstructured data. Voice, we have unstructured data. So we also work in the data science with structured and unstructured data. Data science is related to data mining, machine learning, and big data, as I explained. So this is all about the data related process. And there are so many things we will study the data exploration, not here in the advanced workshop. We will learn these all things. So because if I explain here, you could not get it better way, because if we little bit learn about this and then I could explain, you could better understand what does it mean by the data exploration, what is data wrangling, what is data mining, what, and then what are the processes we use, you know, and data warehousing, and we see the feature engineering and feature selection also. So this we discuss later on, but here we see the analysis because we are going to perform some analysis in this workshop. So analysis refers to breaking a whole into its separate components for individual examinations. In the separate components, I have divided this in 4 components. One is the descriptive, second is the inferential, predictive, and prospective. So if we talk about the descriptive, you see there is what is. Whatever we have in the data is called the descriptive analysis. How many males are there in this workshop? How many females are there? So this is a descriptive. Suppose we have a 3 sections, A, B, and C, and we are going to see the marks of the mathematics, average marks of the mathematics of the each section. The section A marks is some like 47% average marks, and section B is 62% average marks. Similarly, in the section C, something like that. So this is the descriptive analysis. We involve the mean, mode, median, center, tendency, measure of dispersion, standard deviation. This all. So this is the descriptive analysis. So whatever you have. Inferential analysis means why it is. If the section A students are marks lower than section B students and there is significant difference in their marks, we test it through the some hypothesis, we apply some test, and then we find out the result whether our hypothesis is accepted or rejected, null hypothesis. If our hypothesis is rejected, null hypothesis is rejected, then we see the cause of it, why there is significant difference. Then we search out the cause. So it is the study of cause and effect, inferential analysis. Yeah, yeah. Mean, median, mode, frequency, correlation, everything. The current data, whatever we have, that is a descriptive analysis. You are talking about the current data, what we have, what is. Inferential, we see why it is. If there is a difference in the marks, as I explained you, that is the why it is, and we find out the cause and effect then. Third is the predictive analysis. Predictive analysis, you see here what will be. Suppose you have a data of last 50 years of a certain region, data of crop production and rain, and we prepare one predictive model by which we could predict the crop production forecast for the current year, if we know the current year rain. So this is the predictive, what will be the rain this year. So this is the predictive analysis. Then I will show you one more. Just a moment, I shift this here. I will reply your chat box questions later on. Just first I complete this slide, then I reply your questions. So there is a, it is called the machine learning, starts with the predictive analysis, and there are some other factors which also impact the crop production, like soil quality, seed quality, sunlight, irrigation, and pesticides, fertilizers. This also impact on your crop production, the volume of crop production. And if we include these significant factors, variables, also in our model, and we create one machine learning model.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
We can see only half the slide.
Yeah, you will have these on slides. Don't worry. We'll share this slide to you.
No, sir. So the slide that we are watching right now, it's like half is dark to our side. I mean, the thing we are seeing, like
Okay.
the after the analysis part, bottom part we can't see. Some glitch has appeared, sir, as it appears.
Okay. I stop it and again I share it. Now it's okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
It may be some issue. Now it's clear, na, for everyone.
Yes, sir.
So for predictive, as I am telling, there may be more than one factor or the variables which impact on the dependent variable. Okay. So like the soil quality, seed quality, and some more things. Okay. So we consider these all and we find out the prediction for the current year. And suppose we get a prediction like X metric ton of crop would be this year. This prediction is given by our predictive model for the current year. But there is a requirement of Y metric ton, by the government, by that region. And there is a very big gap between these two. This is your supply, and this is the demand. Or there is very big gap between demand and supply. Just please, someone's mic is open, I think that. Okay, it is my mic is humming. Correct. Am I audible to you all? There is no disturbance. Is there humming?
No, sir, you are audible.
Okay, correct.
No, sir, you are audible.
So there is a big gap between demand and supply. Now I am going to tell you what is the difference between machine learning and artificial intelligence. So when you train a model of machine learning, it will give you the prediction. And we provide the data again and again, this model. And this machine learning model is an infant, small child. And artificial intelligence model is an adult. Both are same, but their stages are different. So as we learn, we are learning, still we are learning with few algorithms. So the human being learn, our machines also learn in the same way. We learn with one algorithm, we use the supervised learning. Supervised learning is what? You are attending these workshops, it is a supervised learning. I am giving you the instructions and this all. So it is the supervised learning. And you see in the when an infant child, her parents gives him instructions, so this is your uncle, this is a grandpa, and uh, show him fruits, and this is apple, this is banana, and show the pictures in a book. So it's a lion, it's a bear, and these all things. So these are supervised learning. Okay, second algorithm, it is the unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is what? You are searching some video of data analytics on YouTube channel, or like in Udemy, you are watching some video. That is the unsupervised learning. You are just watching it. Whatever is in that video, you are going to catch it. Whatever you are getting in the written material somewhere, you are reading it. That is basically not a, it may be the semi-supervised, we could say. It may be the semi-supervised, somebody is instructing, but it is not a real time. Okay. Or unsupervised means if a small child, there is a utensil of hot milk kept on a floor, and a small child come on his knees and touch that utensil of the hot water, hot milk. The next time he will touch it or not? Will he touch it? Next day, if he find the utensil kept on a floor of the milk, would he touch it or not? He will not touch it. He will not touch it. Sorry, just a moment. Is it visible to you or not? Sometimes this slide is visible. Okay.
Yes, sir.
My audio is not clear. Somebody is telling that.
No, sir, your audio is clear.
Okay.
It's okay, sir.
Okay. So then it means that if this sort of learning is called the unsupervised learning, he learned himself. Then there is a semi-supervised, which I explained you. You get some study material on the net and then you read it. That is a semi-supervised. And fourth one is the reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is what? When you give a pen to a small child, the mostly child try to keep that pen in mouth. Take the pen in mouth. So we request him, we suggest him. Sometimes we threat him, warn him, please you don't take in your mouth. And sometimes we give some slap to his face. So that is the reinforcement learning. He is making some mistake, or you are rectifying it. We are different. The similar algorithm we use in the machine. And the feed of this infant, the machine learning model, is data. When we provide this machine learning model huge data, big data, then after some time, it converts in AI. Because if your child come in the 11th and 12th standard, now he is able to suggest you which mobile you have to purchase. He will suggest you which gadget you should purchase, because now he is intellectual. He got the experience. So same thing here in AI. What happens? We have to minimize this gap, demand and supply. Now if you have the AI model, then it will suggest what's as per the soil quality, it will suggest you. And there is a mobile application, suppose we have given to our farmers of that region, and they will just check their soil quality and they feed the quality of the soil. As per that soil quality, the AI model will suggest them which quality of seed they have to use for the crop. As per the weather, that application inform them or recommend them how to do the irrigation, the frequency of the irrigation, what should be. As per the diseases or whatever on the plant, on their crop, it will suggest what pesticide you have to use. As per the seed and my voice is Kencho, my voice is okay. I think everybody is able to listen it. I think from your system is getting some problem. I am audible. I have given here 50% my volume. Okay. So in this way, it will recommend the things. So if you apply this all recommendation during the crop, then this X metric ton and the Y metric ton gap, demand and supply gap, will reduce. That makes you sense, everyone? It will reduce. I don't say that it will be zero, but it would be minimized if we take the recommendations of artificial intelligence. Okay. So that is the work of AI. It recommend you. Okay. So these are the type of analysis, and AI means what should be. So I explained you what should be the seed quality, and what should be the irrigation frequency, and these all things. Some variables may not be in our control, like the rain and the sunlight. Okay, but other weather components are according to that we could control our other variables. Okay. So some questions arises over here. So I will just see those questions, what the questions are related. Okay, visible. Just a moment, I see few questions were there on the upper side of the chat box. So few questions are there. The diagnostic analysis. Pravinit Lageshwar. That is, diagnostic analysis mostly comes in the infantil. Also, we do that. The research design, it is basically. Now we are diagnosing something. That is a part of this. Okay. Hypothesis not come in descriptive. No, hypothesis is the part of inferential analysis. Okay. And few questions are there. They are not same, right? Pravneet Logeshwaran, what you are, they are not same, right?
Sir, the inferential analysis and diagnostic analysis both are not same, right?
No, both are not same. The diagnostic may be the part of inferential. You could apply in inferential that thing. If you are diagnosing something, you are going to search out some new. That is a diagnostic type of research. It is a research design or research method, we could say that. Research design, basically diagnostic. There may be the experimental design, there may be some other designs also. Okay, analysis is the same thing. You will analyze this with the same algorithm.
Thank you.
Would text analysis be descriptive or inferential? Text analysis is a different process. That is the sentiment analysis and this all. Text. That is not here in the descriptive. We could also use some inferential also we could apply. It depends what sort of work you are doing. Text analysis not here in this inferential basically. It is a predictive one. So one more thing I would like to ask is the last thing, then we start on the whiteboard. I will explain you the data and its types, everything then. One more thing just I am going to ask you, which remains in the first slide. Here you see there is one question in the bottom of this slide. The question is, what is first statistics? So I just little will explain you what is statistics basically. As mean, mode, median, these all things what we compute is called the statistics. What is first statistics? From where the statistics start? Yeah. Can someone tell me? What is first statistics basically? Pravinath, it's describe the population. Okay, we compare, we assume that whatever the sample we have taken, it is from the same population. Pattern of data. No, the statistics is some sort of computation, some sort of calculation. What is the first calculation do you do in the statistics? Just like mean, mode, median, standard deviation, whatever. No, length is a part of that data. It's not a, yeah, correct. Probability, Marshall is telling that it is probability, correct. Suppose you have a data of this workshop, we take the data and we see that here are 97 participants present, and out of that 97 participants, we have 42 females. Okay. So if I say that there are 42 females, there were 42 females in our workshop. So is it a complete information? From how many I have not mentioned over there. It's not a complete information. If I find out the percentage of 42 women out of 97, then it would be a better presentation or better inference of this. If I just say the percentage, suppose I say the 50%, I say that 47% were female. It's okay now. If I say the 47% were female, so it's okay. It's the complete information I am providing to you. So whenever you mention the data of the descriptive type of data for the categorical variable, you always use the percentage. Don't use the frequency. Okay. If you mention the frequency in your bar plot, if you mention the frequency in your bar plot, then it's wrong. You must mention the percentage. So you see, we starts with the percentage. I explain you here. Just a moment. We starts with the percentage, or percentage is what? If I say about the percentage is nothing. It is the proportion into 100%. Does that make sense to you? What is percentage? And this proportion is nothing, it is the probability basically. Probability is what? Favorable outcome over total outcome. This is the probability. So the first statistics is what? Basically, it is the probability. In the descriptive analysis, we are using as a percentage that thing. Okay, our statistics starts from here. So it is a first statistics. First statistics is nothing, it is a probability. Okay. Somebody asked me for histogram, we can mention frequency. The histogram is always this frequency. You could not mention the percentage in the histogram. Histogram is the distribution. It shows the distribution of your data. How frequently it distributed. It shows how frequently your data is distributed. So it is a histogram. So it is showing the frequently. So it means there is a frequency. You could not use the percentage there. Okay, Rajmohan ji. How frequently your data is distributed. It shows the histogram. Okay. But in bar plot, we require the percentage. So it is our first statistics. And if we talk about the last statistics is what? That is also probability. I think you are all from the academic. Most of you are from the academic field. So I just, you all know that the hypothesis and test, most of you. And how we conclude the result, whether our null hypothesis is accepted or rejected. Mostly at the confidence level, we select the confidence level first. Suppose we have selected a confidence level 95%, 0.95. Then the level of significance would be it is a 5%, or if we convert the 5% in decimal, it is 0.05. So it is nothing, it is the probability. In that curve of the normal curve, it is a probability. And if our test value probability, what we have conducted the test, its probability is less than 0.05, means our null hypothesis has been rejected. If p-value is greater than 0.05, null hypothesis has been accepted. Does that make sense to everyone? We conclude in this way. Our p-value, calculated p-value, is less than 0.05 or greater than 0.05. It is less than 0.05, then our hypothesis, null hypothesis is rejected. If it is greater than 0.05, null hypothesis is accepted. So where we are concluding this? We are concluding with the p-value. Or p-value is what? It is the probability. It is the probability. So the end of statistics is also probability. It is not in the inferential analysis. It is also in the machine learning part of the artificial intelligence. So I explain you how it is the end. If you see in the machine learning, we have a chatbot. Chatbot, you all know. Chatbot. Yes. It is in the mobile application. You see in the banking mobile application, mostly they use the chatbot. The most of the web application also, there is chatbot. Now it is in trend. But this chatbot, whatever they are using, is not a AI chatbot. All the chatbot are contextual chatbot, not AI. They are all contextual. It is the 50% AI. 50% AI only. Even Alexa, Siri, and Sophia, which has got the Sophia has got the citizenship of some Arab countries. These are all contextual, not AI. Because in the chatbot, there are two models we use, not the single model. One is the user interface, and second is the dialogue management model. Dialogue management. User interface model means whatever you type or text the message in a chatbot. I'm talking with respect to chatbot. The same thing apply here. Here is the voice integration only. Okay, here is the voice integration only. Or there is some image classifications model also applied with Sophia. So it is working on the viewer visualization and also with the speech integrated. So this is the same thing here. So I'm talking about the perspective of chatbot. User interface model, if we have to inquiry something, so your sentence would be different from my sentence. We will ask the same thing, but our syntax structure would be different. It would be different or not? Maybe different. Okay. Everybody has a different way of writing, with different way of speaking, different way of asking something. So what does this user interface model do? It uses the NLP. Most of you heard about the NLP, natural language processing, and we apply that, and it breaks the sentence, whatever we have asked, in parts, and then it search out the intention. What is your intention? Your intention is complaining. You are complaining something. You are requesting something. You are informing something. You are want some information. So it catch the intention out of that sentence. So after getting the intention, there are so many intentions already fed in the model, and it will, because everybody has a different structure of word. So it doesn't that this word is this intention. No, and the whole sentence, according to whole sentence and the few words, it search out the intention. It is called the intent, basically, in the technical terminology. It catch out the intent. It catch out the many intent, search out. This intent has the probability 0.8%. This intent has the 0.6%, 0.45%, and this way, it get the probability of different intent out of your text message. Then it select the highest probability intent out of them, and it transfer that highest probability. It transfer this highest probability intent to dialect management model. This is the intention of the person. Now reply. So as per that intention, the dialect management model respond. So the first part, user interface, is AI. There is a machine learning algorithm has been used. But in the dialect management model, up to now, in future, we will get the AI over there also. There are some templates already feeded. For each intent, they have feeded 10, 15 sentences, different sentences. So randomly, it will select one and it will show you. So you will see that every time you ask, you get a different response. No, randomly out of 10 templates are there for one intent, so it will select one. and send it to you. Does that make sense to you? So here, by which it is going to diagnose the thing? By the probability. So it is also ending with the probability. So if we say that the starting of the statistics is with probability and the end is also probability, everything is between them. A mean, mode, median, correlation is between them. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. And now I clear this and we start with our whiteboard and I explain you about the classifications of the data. Now we see the various classifications of the data. Of data. First, we see the first classification of data, which is according to work. It is for numeric data. So, if you get a numeric data, you have to first bifurcate that data, whether it is discrete or continuous. If it is discrete, then we convert them in factor in R, or if it is continuous, we don't do anything with that data. Please you mute yourself. Somebody's mic is open. It is the raw data. We get the raw data whenever we get in a column. Second is a discrete data, and third is a continuous data. We get the data in this form, and then we have to bifurcate either it is discrete or continuous. So I am giving a simple example. Mostly I use. We have to conduct a survey of the UNICEF in a big city. And we are going to conduct this survey for distribution of the drop of polio drops in that city. How many quantity is required of that drop. So what we are doing, we are searching out in each family how many children below 5 years. How many children are below 5 years. So in the first family, if we approach, we have selected few places. The one place we are doing the 100 families, and the next some other area we are also conducting with 100 families. In this way, we have selected different areas. We have segmented the area, and then we are collecting the information from this each area, 100 from out of the 100 families. So it is the randomized. So we are taking the sample of the one place only, and we see that there is a in the first family we approach, we got there is one children only. In the second family we approach, there is no children below 5 years. Third family, there is no children below 5 years. Then two children below 5 years, then one children below 5 years, then one children below 5 years, then three children, then no children, then one children, then four children, and then no, and then two. In this way, we are getting this data. Does that make sense to everyone? Just a moment. No order based data, no order based data. And first of all, we get the data in this way, in the column. We get a data, the numeric data in this way. Whatever the data, yeah, you may have the data of the age, you may have the data of the weight of. So here what we do, first we find out the unique values. How many unique values are there? We find out the unique values. If we find out the unique values of these, and we see there are very few unique values, there are 5 unique values we are getting. Thus children are below 5 years in each family, not more than 4 children. So this sort of data, out of 100 we are getting only 4 unique values, which is very few with respect to whole data set. So this sort of thing, this sort of numeric variable is called a discrete variable. It belongs to discrete. Does that make sense to everyone? So whenever we get the very few unique values, we convert that variable in factor in R. We convert them in factor in R language. But in Python, we convert them in strings. And there is a different data types in Python. R have a different data types. So this is the first process. Whenever we see the numeric data, we see whether it is discrete or continuous. I am giving you one more example. Suppose we have also to measure the weight of each children. So we are getting the weight 10.2 kg, 11.1 kg, 10.25 kg. In this way, we are getting these weights of the children. There is very little bit difference. If we see the unique values of this weight, so there are so many unique values. It may be 40, it may be 50, it may be 80 unique values out of 100. So this sort of data is called the continuous data. And we don't do anything with the continuous. If it is a continuous form, if you see there are so many unique values, so we could not do anything with that variable. It remains as it is. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Is there any doubt? Python is also a programming language like R for performing the data analytics and the machine learning and the artificial intelligence. Okay. Now, this was our first classification of the data. Second classification of the data according to no, this is our second or first. Okay, it was only the first now. It is second. According to what? According to nature. According to nature. According to nature. according to nature, if you see, there is a nominal data, there is a ordinal data, there is a interval data, and there is our ratio data. 4 classifications. Nominal data means wherever you have a naming, it is nominal data. It means categorical data. What does it mean? Categorical data. And we could assume that if you have a column like city, name of the cities, so it may be Mumbai, New York, New Jersey, New York, whatever. So you have this sort of data. It is the name of the city. It may be Indore, Ahmedabad, whatever. So these are all the nominal data, like a gender, male and female. It is a nominal name of the fruits, banana, and whatever, mango, cherry, and these all. So these are all nominal data. Second thing is the ordinal data. What does it mean by the ordinal data? No, demographic, you also use the age in the demographic. You also use the age in the demographic. Age is a numerical. Understand? Now we talk about the ordinal data. What does it mean by the ordinal data? We see there is no ordinal scale. Ordinal is a data. Okay. Nominal is a data. Some people say nominal scale. Some say ordinal scale. No, that's not right. That is a data. Scale may be interval scale or mescal may be ratio scale. Okay. Not a nominal or ordinal scale. These are not scale. What does it mean by scale? If you see, we have a rule. One side the centimeter, other side is the inches in a scale. Okay, we say it is scale. Why? In a scale, what happens? The distance between every 2 milestone is always same. That means scale. Interval is uniform. Here in the ordinal data, we use sometimes Likert type scale. Likert type, I am not telling the Likert scale. Likert type scale. It is not a Likert scale because ordinal data is not a scale. So it is, we use sometime Likert type scale. Suppose I am using a 5-point Likert type scale, 5 points. It may be 3 points, 4 points, 5 times, 5.6 points, 7 points Likert type scale. So I am using the 5-point Likert type scale of agreeness. First I am writing the strongly agree. Sorry, strongly disagree. I am writing. Then second is the disagree. Third is the not certain. Fourth is I agree. And fifth is I strongly agree. And if I give the order 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, this order I have given. So the difference between 1 and 2 and the distance between 2 and 3 is not same. I explain you with one example. Suppose there are 3 employees ABC working in a company. and manage both. All three are on the same post in a sales department. And company decided to give them the increment of rupees 3,000 per month. So all of them are strongly disagree at this amount of increment. And they are strongly disagree. So company decided to give few more bucks to them, rupees 2,000. It is now 5,000 rupees total increment. With the small increment of 2,000, what happens? I will explain it. You see, they strongly disagree, then disagree, then not certain, and agree, and strongly agree. Mr. A, with this 2,000 of amount, switched from strongly disagree to disagree. I changed the color so you could better understand. I changed the color. Mr. A, with 2,000 rupees, shifted from strongly disagree to strongly agree. But Mr. B shifted only not certain with this 2,000 rupees. And Mr. C shifted only here. Does that make sense to everyone? So there is a different intervals for the same amount. You see the SD here. So this is not the same interval we are getting. Does that make sense to everyone now? Is it clear to you? So whenever you have a ordinal data, we could not take the mean of this column. If we have a column having ordinal data, mean we could not consider mean. Okay. We will use the group mean. Group median. We will use the group median, or we could use the mode also. But we will not find out the mean. If we don't find out the mean, it means we could not perform parametric test, because the parametric test is based on the group mean, and the non-parametric tests are based on the group median. So we have to perform the non-parametric test with this sort of data. Does that make sense to everyone? Sometimes we perform t-test with this Likert type scale. So I explain you when we could apply this t-test. So I open one more PPT for you. Look at this. Scoring of Likert scales. Likert type scale is when you have not scored something. When you score it, it is a Likert scale now. What happens? I explain you. Here, these are our item number 1, item number 2, item number 3, item number 4. These are 4 items belongs to one factor. So it may be a factor of food. Some other question belong to some other factor like the sports activity in the school. Is it clear? And we are getting here 4 and 1 and 2 and 2. And we add on these all and find out the mean. So it is a score. We could use the sum or we could use the mean in the score. Mostly we use the mean, 99%. And we find out the mean of these, it's the 10 divided by 4. So it is 2.5. Here we get 3.2. Here we get 4.9. Here we get 1.3. Here we get 2.8. Here we get 3.7. Got it? Is there any doubt? Okay. Now what we do, these are the score. And in this way, we could find out the mean. But in this way, we could not apply the mean vertically. Vertically, it is a Likert type scale. It is an ordinal data, and central tendency we could take as median and mode. And the dispersion is range and quartile or the interquartile range. And the association or the correlation, if we talk about the Kendall tau B or C, we could apply here. And the test would be performed non-parametric test like the chi-square test or the Mann-Whitney or whatever. But if you have taken this, now you are working on this, you are not taking this in consideration because you have got this factor. And you are comparing this factor some other factor. That is also a score. So these are a scale now. This is a Likert scale. Or we could say it is an interval scale. It is a scale now. Now it is a scale. And we could apply the central tendency mean here. We could use the standard deviation variance. We could apply association like Pearson correlation. And the all parametric test we could apply here. Does that make sense to everyone? One more thing. There was a traditional method where we find out the score of this. If it is 2.5, you have to make a bar graph for this, the food score. So which are strongly agree, which are strongly disagree, whatever. So you have to also make one graph. So which range you will put in the strongly disagree, which value you will put in the strongly agree out of this score. So there was a traditional method. In that method, they have mentioned from 0.01 to 1, this is strongly disagree. And 0.01 to 2, it is disagree. And 2.01 to 3, it is neutral or not certain. And 3.01 to 4, it is agree. And 4.01 to 5, it is strongly agree. But here you see, you starts with 1 and end with 5. Your range, you see the minimum value is 1 and the maximum value is 5 in your scale. How one could get the mean below 1? 0.01, between 0.01 and 1. Can one get the mean out of the data which is between 0, 1 and 5? Is it possible? Is it possible? Not possible. It is not possible. So this traditional method is unscientific. And the most of research paper, this traditional method has been applied. And it is totally unscientific. Then this technique have been used by most of the scientists, and no name was given to them. But I have given a name, range max method. And how we find out this? So what we do, we find out the range first. So range is what? Maximum minus minimum. That is the whatever the scale you have. If you have the 7.7 minus 1, that is the 6 range. If you have 4.4 minus 1, 3 range. So here is a 5 point. So I am taking the 5 minus 1, which is 4 range. And this range I divide by the maximum value. So 4 is divided by the 5. So I will get the 0.80. Does that make sense to everyone? 4 divided by 5 is 0.80. Afterwards, what I will do, I have the minimum value is 1. I will add on 0.80. I will get the upper limit of that class. 1 to 1.80 represents the strongly disagree. And from 1.80 or 1.81, whatever you want, you could take, maybe continue, non-continue. If I add 0.80 here, 1.80 plus 0.80, you will get the 2.60, the upper limit of the second class. Then you again add 0.80, you will get the upper limit of third class. Then you add the 0.80, you will get the upper limit of fourth class. And finally, you add the 0.80, you will get the maximum value. So there is a fixed interval. There is a fixed interval now. Fixed gap between upper and lower limit. Does that make sense to everyone? If this value 2.5, so 2.5 lies between 1.81 and 2.60, so it is a disagree. I take some different color. So it is disagree. 3.2 lies here, 2.61 to 3.4, so it is not certain. 4.9 comes here, is the strongly agree. And 1.3, you see it is the strongly disagree. And 2.8 comes here, it is not certain. And 3.7, you see, comes here in the agree. Got it? Is there any doubt? So it is a ordinal data, and we could treat in this way. Okay. Now, interval ratio data I will explain you today, and then I wind up this session because I have next session after this. Tomorrow we will see some other classification of data and the measure of center tendency. There is an interval or ratio. What is the difference between these two? There is a difference of 0. In the both data, there is a 0. But there is a difference of 0 means 1 0 is pseudo 0 and 1 0 is real 0. I will explain you. If you have a temperature in degree Celsius, and if it is written -5 to 7, then 0, then so what does it mean? This 0 means 0 degree Celsius temperature means there is no temperature. What do you think? Is there no temperature? If I say the 0 degree Celsius temperature is today, it means there is no temperature. What do you think? Yeah. Correct, Karma. There is temperature. No? 0 is given the value where water starts to freeze. That means it is 0 degree temperature. But it is there is temperature. It's not a real 0. If it is not a real 0, if I talk about the marks, you got in the examination, if somebody gets 0 marks, what does it mean? Score 0, no marks. 0 marks means no marks. 0 degree Celsius temperature doesn't mean no temperature, but 0 marks means no marks. So it is real 0. If I multiply real 0 with any number, what I will get? 0. This is the property, characteristic of 0. If I divide any number by 0, I will get the infinite. Got it? But here if you have this sort of 0, and you have to multiply this with, suppose, a physical quantity volume. And you are multiplying this temperature into volume. What you get here? It is minus 10, okay? I changed the color so you could not be confused here. It is minus 10, it is 10, it is 21, and then it will not be equal to 0. Because this is a pseudo 0, it does not have that property which real possesses. Understand? We do not have that property. Okay? So we could not perform the arithmetical operation with this 0. So what we will do this sort of column? How we will, what treatment we could give it? So first of all, we see the unique values. And if it is in the few unique values, then we convert them in factor. And it will treat as a category. Okay? If it is not a few unique values, this is a continuous variable, then we convert them in class interval. In the class interval, what we will do, in the class interval, we suppose I am converting this minus 15 to minus 10, minus 10 to minus 5, minus 5 to 0, 0 to 5, 5 to 10 in this way. And there is one condition, the 0 must be in the upper and the lower limit. It is very compulsory. Otherwise you could not get. Then we do the mid value, the class mark or the mid value. How we get this class mark? We add these two and divide by 2. So minus 15 minus 10 is minus 25 divided by 2, 12.5 minus. It is minus 7.5. It is 0.25 minus, and it is 0.25 or it is 7.5. So there is no 0 you will get here in the class mark. Now you could apply the arithmetical operation. Does that make sense to everyone? Is it clear to all? We should be very, very careful whenever we do this sort of analysis. Okay. And one more thing. In the interval scale, there is a both zero, pseudo and real. But in the ratio, there is only real. Understand? And all together, we say it is a scale. Understand? And the third classification we will see tomorrow with our measure of center tendency and measure of dispersion. We finish the theoretical part tomorrow, and then we start the R day after tomorrow. Okay. So is there any doubt in today's session? Someone? Any question?
So can you please repeat the last part that you have just converted and calculated class mark from the class interval, and what you just said, I missed it.
Whenever we convert them in class interval, we should consider that there should be zero always be in the upper limit or the lower limit. You should take -5 to 0. You should not take -5 to 5. 0 should not be in between that class interval. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
That is very important. Then you find out the class mark. Class mark is nothing, just the average of those two values. Whatever you are taking, -15 to -10, it is the -15 plus -10, it is -25. And -25 we divide by 2. So we get the 12.5.
Yes.
Similar thing we will do with each observation. So we get always the non-negative, non-zero number. There will not be a zero in your data set. Now you could apply any sort of arithmetical operation. There is a problem of zero with, no?
Yes, sir, I got
We
it.
have a problem with zero only, and a pseudo zero only. So we have removed that zero. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mukesh, are you there? If zero is not limit, it will again come in the data. No, if it is not in the upper limit or the lower limit, Ubel, Swati, so it may again come in your data. It may again come in your data, and you could not perform the operation. I just look that Mr. Mukesh is there or not. Mr. Mukesh, are you there? I just ping him, so he may come and talk.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, it's me, Shaili. Since due to network issue, I couldn't attend the class, and I attend this 5 minutes before. So, just can you say, please, all like which all topics you have discussed, so I can read once.
Okay. We have discussed about the introduction of the statistics, data analytics, and the data science. Okay. Then
Yes,
we
sir.
have covered the classifications of the data today. Two
Okay, sir.
classifications of the data we have covered. And if you are the paid participant, then you could also get the recording of this lecture. You may get.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
according to nature and according to work, and the final is according to function. Mr. Mukesh, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here. So today's session, I think we are completed, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks to all the participants. So tomorrow will be very important session. Don't miss it. Be on time. And as you see that there is a lots of participants who are waiting outside. They were not able to join because it was packed. We were packed. So there were lots of participants. They were not able to join the workshop due to lack of space. So try to be on time. Otherwise you will miss. Also, those who have paid, as I have said in the starting, please fill the certificate form. Don't miss to fill the certificate form. Fill it properly with the proper name, email, and the payment screenshot. We will be sharing the study material by tonight for today's workshop. So study material will be sent in the Google Drive link. It is only for you, not to post anywhere. The video recording will be on YouTube, which we will share the private link. Again, you will not find on the Google search or anywhere. You have to just copy that link and paste it on the browser. So it will start working. Any other queries, feel free to ask. We are available on email, phone, WhatsApp. I have also shared the WhatsApp link. I again share the WhatsApp link. Those who want to join the WhatsApp group of this workshop can join that. I'm just sharing the WhatsApp group link now. You can just click on the link. You will be automatically part of that WhatsApp group. So you just click on the WhatsApp group link and you will be part of that WhatsApp group. In case if you are using laptop, you can save that link to use it on your mobile for later. So that's all from now. Those who are joining our intermediate program can join the R intermediate program just after this workshop. So thank you very much. Those who enjoy the session, please thumbs up and click for sir. You have a reaction button on your screen. You can just click on the thumbs up and clap for sir. Those who enjoyed the session. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you tomorrow then, all of you. Bye for now. So love from India to all the international participants. Join tomorrow. We'll have more discussion tomorrow. We'll have some introduction from different part of the world, all the participants. You will talk about yourself a little bit, what you do. So tomorrow we'll connect. See you then. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.